Hello, is this thing on? Is anybody there? Hello. Welcome to Friday night. We'll find out what's going on today. I don't know that I have a whole lot new or exciting to unbox. No new products. Um, no new technology. There's all the news was in a previous video. There's some new songs that I could play, maybe go through the release radar. I didn't really set it up to be like that. I just wanted to talk today, just come in and say hello to my friends. And be it that I think my last 10 videos got demonetized because of music in the background. It's not a really good record. So what I think I might do, I'm gonna flip this camera around and do a second unboxing for a similar product. Welcome and hello to my friends. How are you today? Happy Friday. Let me see what's going on here. Adjust my camera. It's a little bit later in the evening. I typically don't go on this late at night, but it's Friday and I don't have to get up early tomorrow. It's a long weekend here in Canada. We have Thanksgiving this weekend, or Monday, in lieu of the Thanksgiving here in Canada. We do ours in October. I know the US does theirs in November. That's cool. We're allowed to have differences of dates and celebrations and whatnot. Hello to Mirage Bryston. What's going on? Hello tonight. The unboxing that I want to do basically while I'm just talking to the camera is the second pair of Gaia 1s. I have two pairs for both of the speakers. So I just want to go and open up these ones because I will be putting them on my Arundel Towers. The Arundel Towers are still out in the living room. So that's what's going on there. Let me put on some background music. Hopefully it doesn't get the video demonetized. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put on my CD that is typically good for copyright free sort of thing. Just get some chill vibes in the background. I listen to music basically all the time, so while I'm doing the video, I still want to have music in the background. True Voice of Reason's here on a Friday. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello to my friends who are here, my loyal and regular supporters that are on this channel. Now, my notifications don't always get out on time because I tend to just do them about an hour or a little while before I go live. So my notifications are very short and I'm not sure how many people get to see them. Now, it would be better if I scheduled them like a week ahead of time that I know I'm going to be going live. But honestly, my ADHD is so bad, I never know. And my schedule changes sometimes, so I'm never really sure when I'm going to do anything live. Now, I've already opened one of these, and very, very big shout out to ISO Acoustics for trusting me with these feet. My friends that don't like me showing my feet on the videos. We've got the Under Armours on today, and we're going to be unboxing the Gaia 1s. Now, I've already done this unboxing before, but we're just going to do it again just for the fun of it. Trones is here, Vel is here, True Voice of Reason saying feet. Let's see what's going on. Greeting, glad you went live. I'm making Lollipop Ghost. Hold on, so many comments. Everybody else is getting in on the fun. It's just when the comments come up, everything starts to move fast. So Lollipop Ghost for my Halloween door. That's cool. Love it. Yes, Mirage Bryson's got a great idea. I'm not going to say it, but I don't know who does merch like that. And that would be the number one thing, because everybody makes hats, coffee mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, toques, underwear, but I haven't seen anybody do those. And I'm not going to say it out loud because, you know, like the chat will have to come up, but I don't want to give the idea away. But genuinely, nobody that I know really does those. It's possible, and I know there are brands that have like a standard type of logo branding that kind of thing. They have a standard set that you can order, but I would have to do something more specific to myself, and I would 100% do that, and I might have to find a way to make that happen, for real. It's a good idea. All right, so the Gaia ones comes with the booklet, and then the inside of the box comes with 3 sets of hardwares. These are the biggest types, smaller threads, smallest threads. All of them have the thick inserts on the bottom for the feet themselves, and then you just tighten them into the feet on the bottom and then into your towers or bookshelves on the top. Very fancy. So I'll be putting them on my Arundel towers when I get them back in the room. The thing is, it's very sort of, it's going to be a long while before I get these onto the towers and in my room, to be honest, because I have like 3 sets of bookshelves coming to the room. Tickle like that, True Voice, okay, you guys are just having conversation in the chat with each other. I'm reading it out like it's supposed to be for me. Okay, so that's all I'm really unboxing. I wanted to get these all ready to go and all set for my upcoming review. We did the fun and games with the subwoofer stand. I had my I had the feet on my head last time. That was a lot of fun. That video, that image has gone around now. I've shared it with some other people. I've put it on my Facebook page, tagged it. Dave Listens to Hi-Fi reshared a little bit of it for his page. All kinds of silly faces from yesterday, so that was fun. But let me know what's on your hi-fi list, and then I'm going to share a story as a bit of feedback from my hi-fi journey as of the last while, and something I think that's a product that's underutilized and not advertised enough in the media space. I think I'm going to approach a brand and just kind of give them maybe ask them, not give them, because who am I to really give a brand any kind of advice? I mean, I don't know, maybe I do see something of the world in audio that not a lot of others are reflecting. Maybe it's possible, but I know that for me personally, I've inspired a number of purchases and sales, and even today I had an interaction with somebody at my workplace around hi-fi that made me think about the potential of this. If 3 or 4 people in my life in a short period of time have caught on to the kind of thing that I'm using, maybe there's a demographic out there for more people to appreciate what I'm using in hi-fi. That's all I'm saying. Play on words, feet tickle, yes, of course. When you had those feet on your head, did you feel isolated? No, I felt violated. I'm sure Isoacoustics felt violated too, but they laughed at it. They thought that it was pretty funny. So at least somebody in the media team knows that I'm joking around, so that's good. I like it better when my friends know that I'm just joking around instead of people taking me too damn serious. So what was I gonna say? 2 different things. I'm gonna save the story for the products for another for afterwards, but I wanted to just say this little bit. We all know that I've got the Bucart audio speakers in for listening experience, and a lot of people come in the comments and they will often talk about the surrounds, and they will talk about how the surrounds look broken or something happened to the surrounds because they look different, right? And I explain every single time when somebody says something about them, to make them sound like they're broken or there's something wrong. I explain the technology pretty much every time. So I want to reach out to Lars at Purify Audio, who is one of the co-founders. And I want to ask Lars if I can get one of the scrap drivers or something that doesn't, something that they would have normally just thrown out or put into a scrap bin, similar to the other drivers that I have here, to use as educational purposes rather than the drivers that I have with me, because obviously now Purify has proven themselves to be like some of the world's best drivers for lowest distortion, most output, and all of that sound quality really translates into some of the new products that we're seeing. Many brands are now using them. Bucard Audio, Radiant Acoustics, OFI Acoustics Audio, I think one of the two. I know that Dolly Loudspeakers uses the Purify driver surrounds in their in-wall 10-inch woofers. You can fact check me. Take a look. Also, the Purify Audio Egentalk amplifier modules are now inside of Lingdorf. I believe they're also inside of the new Marantz separates. They're also in the NAD Master Series, M33s, M23s, I believe. So Purify as a company is at the forefront right now, or at least in the well-known forefront, of producing really good technology, whether it's driver technology, whether it's amplifier technology. Purify Audio is right at the forefront of these technologies right now. So for a lot of the audiophiles and people that will see videos who are not as aware, who are not as obsessed as I am about all of the different changes and the new things that are going on, some that might be stuck in the 70s and 80s and think that, oh, the surround on the speaker is broken. Why does it look like that? Why does it look like it's all distorted and blown out like that? Well, it's not. It's designed that way to keep it linear, both inwards and outwards, where normal subwoofers have a outward roll or inward roll, and it only rolls one way. Well, the linear motion of the speaker, as we all know, or should in the hobby, the speaker moves in and out. I'm going to say it again and again and again. I'm going to beat this horse until people stop saying it. It's not broken. It's actually advanced technology. It's the only one like it. And yeah, it looks aesthetically weird. But if you're buying speakers for aesthetics, you're not an audiophile. You can quote me. You can put that one on X. Get Elon Musk to put my name in lights. It'd be like, if you're buying speakers for aesthetics only, you're not an audiophile. That's basically my view on it. So what I wanted to talk about in terms of product, whoa, how did we get to this lighting? Hold on. I have a cloth. Let me just clean the lens. Bear with me a moment. Por favor. Ta-da! No more Michael Bay. No more Michael Bay lens flares. So what I wanted to talk about that I've been using. See, I think Vel still has one. The Bluetooth neck speakers. I have it in the other room. I actually have one I might be able to unbox. I think that there's a very, very big market for the... Fuck it, I'm going to go and get it from the other room. You guys are going to come with me facing the camera this time. I think there's a very, very big market for these types of products, because in the last year, I guess, or two, I've had one. I've been using it. It's been serving me very, very well. I use it at work. I use it on my way to work. I've used it in my videos. I use it while I'm biking. So it has come in handy, and I have been using the same one for like 2 years. Vel saying, yeah, I've been using it with my TV sometimes. I wear it as a headband closer to my ears. I'm weird. Whatever works. Whatever works. Now I'm going to give a little bit of free advertising for these things right now, because I've been noticing there are 2 guys at my work that are 50 plus years old who have seen me wear the one that I have, and they have asked me about them. More than that, more people than that have asked me about them, and they've been interested because it serves them better than a Bluetooth speaker, and it serves them better than headphones because of either work environment or a couple of other different scenarios. They like the idea of wearable audio more than a lot of these other technologies. Now, a lot of brands that are out there that make some of these things do zero fucking advertisement for it. There are no influencers talking about these. There are literally no advertising for it in any space. I don't hear anybody showcasing them. I've never seen ads or anybody talking about them. There's no reviewers talking about them. So mark my words, today, October 11th, 2024, I'm talking about the Bluetooth neck speakers that a few brands have them, but not a lot of the major brands have them. They make headphones, in-ears, and Bluetooth speakers, but they don't make these. And these are in higher demand right now from my perspective in audio, and they're more useful in audio, because to have a Bluetooth speaker, you have to put it down, you have to leave it somewhere, you have to turn it louder, everybody else around you can hear it, which is the most annoying thing. And I know that Klipsch is like all about annoying your neighbors, and it just goes to show you what kind of attitude that they're promoting. Look, it's obnoxious. I hate to use the words, I don't care what your opinion is, but when you're talking about annoying your neighbors on purpose, that's obnoxious behavior. You shouldn't be annoying anybody on purpose. If it's accidental, you should be empathetic to the point that, other people are trying to enjoy their own lives, and you don't need to be disturbing their peace. There's a reason why there are laws about disturbing the peace. Really, if you can have personal audio in a more responsible way and still have fun doing it, I think that it's highly, highly advisable. Now, I'm going to open this one and talk about exactly what it is, and I may be able to do a demo. I'll change the sound up because I'm on Spotify, I can actually Bluetooth it to my speakers and change up the audio. Now, I have extras because I can Bluetooth sync it to my TV, I can Bluetooth sync it to my phone, to my tablet, from any device that broadcasts Bluetooth. Has volume control built in. You can answer and use phone calls, although it's not very clear. True Voice of Reason says, weird is cool. Who wants to be just normie? Yeah, exactly. I don't even know how to be normal anymore. It's like, it takes me a lot of effort to actually think about like what is normal. And that's it. You get the speakers that are built into the waterproof casing. It's rated to a certain degree of waterproofing. Pretty cool stuff. And that just sits around your neck like this. And all the sound comes out of here directly to your ears in stereo, and you can still hear your environment. So if you're walking around, if you're jogging to a certain degree, because this is open and it can slide off the back of your neck, it will be firing upwards, and the sound dispersion's like a cone. So anybody that's at like ear level walking around you can't really hear it the same as you. It might sound loud for you, but somebody who's about a meter away is not going to hear it at nearly the same volume, because you're talking about 4 or 5 inches versus 3 feet, and the SPL drop is massive over 3 feet. So let me see. Next speakers need accuracy or accessory or cord so it doesn't fall off. You're being active. Yeah, well, I guess I was just covering some of that. Yeah, so like if there was a pin or a chain or something just to make sure that it stays on the neck. You don't want it to be completely wrapped around and attached, because if it gets caught on something, it can choke you. But if it was like a breakaway type of thing, then that would be better than nothing. And then it says, I don't care is irrelevant. You make an impact. That's why it matters. People can choose not to care, but they can't defy or deny impact or consequence. Yeah, of course. Like the idea of influence. Like, I'm only speaking from the fact that at least 3 or 4 people around me have seen me wear one, and they went out and bought it because of me. That's influencing. But I didn't do it through social media. I did it in my environment. I did it at work. I did it just being around. I did it showing videos of with my friends online. It wasn't deliberate. It wasn't sponsored. It was like very authentic and organic for me to actually buy and have one of these and use it for myself. It turned out being the number one hi-fi thing, not hi-fi, because it's not very hi-fi, let's admit it. It works and it plays music, but I did it like very organic. It wasn't a deliberate advertisement. It was just something that I used, and now other people have started to go buy it. But it made me think, like, this is a mobile, sort of inexpensive way to use something that allows you to listen to music anywhere. And the majority of people that have approached me about the Bluetooth speaker are over 50 years old. There are people at my workplace. I'm not over 50. I'm sure Vel's not over 50, but it's people that are over a certain age. It's not a young group. It's not the older group, but it's some of the older generation right now are finding a need for something like this, even more than a Bluetooth speaker that you just put down on a desktop, more than headphones, which you can't wear at work. But a lot of workplaces allow you to have a radio, and you can put this around your neck, and it can be pretty loud for you, but not as loud for other people. But if you have to put a Bluetooth speaker on the desk, and the desk speaker or whatever it is ends up being like 3 or 4 feet from you, the volume that you're listening to it for you is the same volume it will be for somebody at another desk or walking past you or whatever. But if you're wearing some of these, other people can't hear it like you can. It's very loud for you because you're talking about 3 or 4 inches of sound, and for everybody else, you can't really hear it. So this is my pitch to audio brands, my friends that are out there. You're seeing it from me that this should be the new trend, honestly. Improvement in quality, improvement in accessories, like Val was just saying, like I don't know why my lips turn red when I'm like zoomed in like this. Is that it's because of the light. Hold on. It's because of that. Hello. Anyways. Typical shenanigans here at the live. Welcome. Mirage Bryston is saying something to consider for me. I know some people I know get annoyed with music. Yeah, of course. Like the idea of not playing music too much or too loud in a certain place or in close proximity, then something like this, that yes, people can hear this more than headphones, but they're going to hear it a lot less than a Bluetooth speaker that's blasting in order for you to hear it at 3 or 4 feet away. This is only 4 or 5 inches away, and it will be playing a lot better. So there is a box of accessories in here. You're going to get a power cord, a charger. It's USB-C charging, which is awesome. And then there's not much to it. You just turn it on and then you sync the device, and that's that. So let me see if I can do that real quick with the iPad that's playing. It is playing through the Weem Pro Plus, but I can stop it. I'm just trying to fit the box back together. These are by Monster Audio. Remember them from the 80s and 90s? Yes, they still make audio. So let me go into the application. I've got my Spotify playing from my iPad here. I'm going to stop the music. I'm going to change it to this iPad, and then I'm going to turn on the Bluetooth, and then I'm going to power this on. Hopefully there's some battery in it, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there is some battery in it.
Discovering.
And I'm going to pair the device. I wonder how I have to pair. I'm pretty sure there's a pairing button, but I don't remember what it is. Because I have another one that's already has the same name, but I'm not sure how it's going to be. There's a number of them on here. I wonder how long I have to press it. I wonder, I can read the instructions. Maybe if I read the instructions, it would work. Because I already have one, and my device is trying to pair with that one. So I'm not sure if I can pair the same device with two. I just finished boxing this back up again. Can you believe that? Anyways, we'll get it to work. I'm gonna read the manual, which is something I always tell my friends to do. Read the manual, read the manual, read the manual, read the manual. I'm reading the manual. Bluetooth is connected. Press and hold the MFB, which is mute something for about 2 seconds, disconnect and oh, okay. So I have to, maybe I have to go into settings. I'm going to unpair the other one. So forget this device. Forget this device, forget. Okay, so now I'm going to pair this one. It should pop up. Nope. Let me power it down. A lot of dead air here for a second. Let me just turn it on again. So you need to pair separately, yeah. So I'm turning on the device now. It will be turning on its Bluetooth capability. I'm going to turn on I'm going to press the function button. About 2 seconds. Still not seeing it popping up though. I wonder if there's another. I wonder if there's another button. I know that there's a power sort of outlet underneath here, but that's not what it says. Does not Bluetooth enable function mobile phone monster service connection, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, powering on and off is cool. Volume control, cool. Reset pairing device. Press the volume up and down buttons at the same time. So let me see if I can clear it. And then this one. Surprisingly taking a while. Like I've had the other one paired for a while, so I'm not really sure why this one's taking a while to pair up. I'm surprised there's actually still battery in it. To be honest, it's very, very odd that it's actually still got battery power. It's been in the box, brand new, unopened for I don't know how long. There's not another button on here, so that has to be the right button to use. However, I'm not seeing it pop up. So I'm going to turn off the Bluetooth and then turn the Bluetooth back on again. And there we go.
Your device is connected.
Okay, so the hold up there was the iPad. The iPad Bluetooth had to be turned off and back on again. It is now playing. The music is going to now play through the speaker. So I told you, and I bet you probably wouldn't be able to tell, like if I went back and forth, whether the music was playing from my speakers or if it was playing through this. I know that it took a long while to get to this point, but there's proof that it works. I told you. So let me see if I missed anything. Damn those instructions. Yeah. So if you go to the device you are pairing, you can rename it. Yes, also that. So yeah, the hang up was the fact that my iPad, the Bluetooth was turned on and I had to cycle it on and off to recognize the device again. So I can play and pause with a button. I can turn it up and down. Pretty cool, right? So here's the thing. I think I might have stopped it there. So the interesting thing about the volume is you can hear it at this distance, right? Significant change. Change it in a different direction. Now it's right up next to you. Seriously, I think it's a very valuable sort of audio sort of oriented device. It's underutilized in the market right now. There are very, very few brands that have actually got some of these, and I would really like to encourage brands to start re-engineering some of these, releasing some new ones, and maybe putting out a campaign where this is the next thing, because I've had the same one for 2 years. The battery still works at full length of time. The functionality still works. It's been in the rain, the cold. I've taken it on vacation. It works. It works well enough at the price that I paid, under $100, that it's significant as an audio device that I can wear and use it every single day. And I may actually listen to it more than my hi-fi system at home. So it's really, really a big deal. I'm going to go back to playing it on my other system. So this is going to be playing on the my actual speakers here. I'm going to try and switch it up. So that's the actual Bucard audio speakers. Pretty cool, right? Press and hold power.
Goodbye.
It's pretty cool stuff. I recommend them. I recommend them to brands. I recommend them to my friends. I recommend them to those who have a need for these, because honestly, like I said, I've been using them walking to work, in my videos. For a lot of people that know me from Instagram know I've had this around my neck in so many of my videos that were so much fun. Walking home from work at night for like a whole year. This was the main thing. I used it more than anything else. I've talked about it on my channel before, but not recently. So I wanted to say now that 3 or 4 people I know that are over 50 years old have approached me lately to ask me what these are and how much they cost. So I really think that brands that are out there, like I'm looking at you, JBL and Denon and Kef, even like a lot of these brands that make speakers and Bluetooth. If you want a way to break into a market and you want a way to bridge a gap in audio right now, these things are your ticket. You don't need to make them $500, $800, $1,000. Quit with that bullshit. Make something that's affordable that everybody can get their hands on, and something that is very, very useful, durable, has a purpose, fulfills a need, bridges a gap. This is the thing. I'm telling you right now, as an influencer, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, Bluetooth neck speakers have more appeal to a demographic right now for a lot of their purposes and use case than a lot of other things do. More than Bluetooth speakers, more than IEMs and headphones, wireless headphones. If you've got your head completely covered, one, you can't wear those at work. You can wear these at work anywhere that you have an AM FM radio or a boom blaster or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth speakers. You can wear these and listen to music to yourself instead of irritating people around you. Get these instead. You heard it from me. All of the people around you will thank you. And if they ask you where you heard about it, you know to come back and say, hey, this guy Siphonics told me about these neck speakers and I really love them. Thanks to him. And then maybe other brands will let me try some. I know that Sony makes some, Bose makes some. These are by Monster Audio. There's a lot of no-name brands that have some, but I'm gonna caution everybody, like when you're buying any products, make sure that the reviews are legit. You find something that's been reviewed well enough that you're not buying complete garbage. So while they're useful, there are a lot of brands out there that will copycat things just to make money. They're not really in it for the quality. They just want you to buy one and go, ah, shit, I don't want to take it back. I don't want to return it. And they're going to bank on the money for people just buying stuff randomly. So be careful of that. But yeah, that's Bluetooth neck speakers. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but shit, here we are. Shout out to Red Sox. Is anything else going on in the world? Amen to Amazon. Yeah, yes and no. Amazon's, Amazon's like any other giant company. They do some good, they do some bad. So let's credit where it's due, right? In other news, I created a new playlist. This one I only have one song and I won't be doing a reaction now, but the one song is on, you can't see it. God, I'm gonna turn my freaking camera around, get the right lens going. Is that the close one? Yeah, that's the close one. Hello. This list is called Toronto Audiofest 2024. And I've got one song on there so far. So this is what I'm going to be doing over the next week, is adding like new and interesting songs to the Toronto Audiofest list. I'm not going to be taking requests from people that are like the songs they're really old and classic, like, you know, Hotel California. That's not happening. If you guys are going to suggest songs, they've got to be something new and interesting, something that's going to push the system, something that's going to hold and retain attention, something like that. True Voice of Reason says, but it has 1,000 positive Amazon views and 0 negative. Should I trust it? Yeah. Well, there's another issue is, who do you trust in the world? Like, a lot of the negative feedback I get and I see on pages, like, for instance, I'm gonna name some names, but I'm not gonna call out everybody in this section. Some of the reviews that I've seen, the comments that I've seen on advertisements from Arundel Towers or Arundel Sound, Arundel? I need one of them to say it for me to know for sure. Anyways, Arundel Sound released the 1528 series. The 1528 series is higher priced than the previous series, 1723s, which I own, the white speakers that I have in my other room. When they released the 1528 series, Michael Youthman did a review or an unboxing experience during the hurricane when Hurricane Helene was on the way in. I believe he was outside in some of those winds while that speaker was delivered. He was bringing it inside and then showed everybody what they were like. Now, his quotes and some of his photos have been featured in Facebook ads. That's how this stuff works. These guys, like, Youthman's channel is Arundel sponsored. He says it at the beginning of his videos. He says it when the videos are sponsored or ads. It's not a secret. His channel is sponsored. He says it in his videos. My channel sponsored by, or channel sponsor Arundel Sound, yada yada yada, whatever he says. So he's unboxing and showcasing a prototype model or a non-production model speaker the day of the launch, which was October 1st, which was now 11 days ago. Jay Ziagi, my friend Jay, they're both my friends, let's be honest. Jay also did a review. His was about a week later. He's had them for a longer period of time. So he and Arundel have already worked out something. He did a review for the 1723. Arundel Sound sent him some stuff early to have something to showcase for the launch here in North America. Now, I haven't seen anybody else showcase those towers. Villaman showcased the monitors, which are the 2.8s and then the tweeter mid. So they're shorter than the towers. Anyways, getting to the point, I just wanted to give some background to what I'm going to say. Some people in the comments for Jay's video, but advertised by Arundel on their own page, or an advertisement purchased for Facebook, their criticism sounds like, oh, he always exaggerates. He's says the same thing for A, B, C, X, Y, Z speakers. So essentially what they're saying is the claim is bullshit because he says the same thing about everything. That's the quote. In a nutshell, that's paraphrased. So what it projects, and what I'm going to go is in the psychology of things now. Comments that are nothing but rejection. True Voice of Reason's writing a novel. What are you saying? All depends on where you put emphasis on the syllable. I have another song that goes with the last bizarre one, White and Trashy. I don't know what that reference is. If you can find it, I think there's only one real copy of the song on YouTube. Can't play YouTube videos or songs at an audio show, so it doesn't matter. It has to be on one of the streaming platforms if it's going to be a suggestion. And you could just email me this stuff. It's cool. I'm not going to be able to get it and type it in from the chat right now. So anyways, commenters are always projecting negative shit. They're always saying, oh, don't listen to this. This is all the same. This is the same design. I had someone talking about the radiant acoustic speakers, like, oh, it's a similar design to this, this, and this, which is like negating it, right? They're trying to bring it down to a level by giving reasons that it's not worth listening to. It's not worth what it looks like. People are projecting their skepticism, but it's in the form and it follows this tone of complete rejection or devaluing is what they're saying. Like, oh, he's, like Jay's exaggerating. He says the same for this, this, and this. And then, like these speakers are the same design because of this, this, and this. What they're doing is they're commenting and bringing it down to a level saying, I don't believe this because of this reason. And the reasons are usually ignorant, narrow-minded, short-sighted. They reflect a matter of like lack of knowledge, because there's no way that somebody sits there and actually watches all the different videos and points of view that a reviewer puts out there. They're not being trolls because they're knowledgeable. They're being trolls because they're self-centered. They're not really listening to understand. They're listening for enough to just have their mouth flapping. So you get all these haters and these negative naysayers and people that are denouncing certain things like, oh, this is trash because it's made in China, or it's trash because this person is always making it sound hype. So if everything sounds good, it must be false. Or like in other regards, they talk about software and they're always advertising a certain way. So YouTube reviewers are getting shit right now for always talking about things in a positive way. They'll saying, yet none of these people are willing to make their own videos. They're using, well, some of them do make their own videos, but we don't hear about it because the ones that actually have a popular channel don't want to give them any play or airtime. Like, you're not going to say their name because why would you? You don't give haters the platform, right? Like, they're being ignorant, so you don't want to give them the attention. That's how narcissists thrive. They just want to make you react. They want to piss you off. They want to feel valuable, whether you're being positive or negative about them. That's narcissist behavior. We know that. So to give them any attention is to make them win. But I'm addressing it now in a way for my other people, my other audiences, my channel creators, and people who are affected by people who are just absolutely in need of therapy. Let's face it. They are projecting a negative space around them, a negative energy, and it comes down to whatever the reasons are. It comes down to 3 words, basically. I don't believe you. That's all it is. They fill it in with a lot of other language. They use reasons. Like, troll comments are usually negative, criticizing, prejudice, judgmental. Like, you can capture all of those comments. They're not even clever most of the time. Most of them don't even sound smart. There's a few that have some like comparisons. They give you a bit of background. You can have like some fact checking. That's not trolling. Trolling is the kind of shit that you see when someone's like, they say the same thing all the time. They're just a shill or a sellout, or it must be nice being a millionaire. You have all these products. Well, like yesterday I was saying, some of the creators have been doing it for like 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is. And they've worked hard. They've worked 4 jobs. They've sacrificed certain things in their lives. They've dedicated a lot of their life in order to achieve these types of things. So for people to come in and criticize them on basically nothing, or only watching YouTube videos, and I bet you they don't watch all of them, they're literally full of shit. And they're just projecting their lack of knowledge and their lack of understanding into other words with the same message of, I don't believe you, I don't trust you, is essentially what they're saying. They don't believe it, so they're expressing skepticism with some sort of judgmental reasoning, rationality. I wouldn't call it rationality. I want to call it rationalizing. Rationalizing is giving yourself reasons to believe something. Like, you can believe it negative because of this, this, and this. Or like because you have faith in like this figure. Like right now we have a political figure that likes to talk all kinds of nonsense, and because people believe in like 2 or 3 things, they think that that political leader is going to be the answer. Or in the opposite way, we have another political figure who is disliked because of certain phrases or stories or slander or whatever the case may be, and people get on their high horse in judgment based on the few things that they know, but they're not really being diligent. They're not really going out there and looking at the facts and looking at both sides and researching what means what. They're just being tribal. They're stating whatever their beliefs are for the limited perspective they have, and they're stating their case based on those things. It's judgmental one way or the other. It's not reasoning. It's not knowledge. It's not understanding. It's argumentative, and it's usually short-sighted based on a perspective, which is okay if it's an opinion, but like really, there's lines of respect there. And that's what makes this hobby and creating so irritating right now, is because there is a science to audio. There is a business to audio. There are lines and roles and factors that go into how things get created, both in the influence space, advertisement space, production space, the engineering, the design, the marketing campaigns. There's a lot going on. So the mass media people, like the people that just got access to social media, start to type their fingers really, really quickly because they get triggered about something. It's really, really obvious. Like, you could just read through all of the different signs. I got another novel to read now. Jesus. Yes, questions of judgment instead of interest or curiosity. Yeah, and you can tell, like, how people write things down. They're projecting from a certain type of mind, and anybody who's aware of it can tell that that's what's going on. It's really irritating. Now, I have to start defending my friends because honestly, it's gross. And I hear about what it's like for them to deal with it off the air, offline. They don't want to tell you what kind of mood it puts them in. They don't want to talk about how negative it affects them. They're not going to add to that on their channel, but like when they step off of camera and they've got to go and spend the day with their family, their friends, and deal with their real lives, meanwhile, like 20 assholes in the comments are just sending vitriol and nothing but bullshit into their, like, on top of their hard work creating, like Val said. It's not like these people make their own videos. They just watch and criticize. Like nothing in the can. Just rattles the most, you know? True Voice of Reason's going on sort of, oh, the sound. Emphasis, view from the top, Arundel sound pronunciation. Yeah, I guess so, but like I said, I need to hear them say it. Belief is something we don't know to be true. Yes, that's why it's belief and not knowledge. People get the dopamine by arguing belief because there's never a conclusion. Yeah, well, tribal, like we have to believe in something. Like we don't know for sure the sun's going to come up. We just believe it will because of a pattern. A lot of science and theories are based on belief. Theories are beliefs, but there's evidence to support them. That's why there's theories and not just beliefs. So yeah, of course. The whole point that I'm trying to make is in order to build a better community, the better people out there need to step up instead of being idle, instead of just letting this shit go, just like any of the other movements for the correct way to behave, not pushing the pendulum all the way to one side or the other, just properly. Like bullying in school. You imagine if people they saw bullying, they witnessed bullying, they know that bullying was going on, but they did nothing about it. How would something like that make you feel? Think about that in a community, and the way that some people that are being negative are just doing it because they can get away with it. Nobody is reinforcing the idea of being positive. Nobody, or not enough people, are making it difficult for these people that are just being negative for no reason and not adding anything significant. They need to find it harder to do so. If they get enough negative or pushback, they're going to stop. Unless they're complete narcissists, in which case there's a block button. But here's the catch. A lot of people in social media are looking for clicks and views, so they want the trolls to be involved because it generates traffic. But that's how the algorithm feeds us fear-mongering instead of like creative, innovative engineering. People look for stuff that they don't like because human beings are adverse reactive. We are looking for things that we don't like or don't want to keep it away from us, but it does the opposite in social media, where you have to actively look for what you want. You have to actively reinforce what you want. You have to purposefully reinforce the things that you want in a community for the community to grow. Otherwise, everything is based on fear-mongering. I'm going to ask Vel to write me a book one of these days. A lot to say, and I appreciate it. I just got to catch up. It's a lot to read out. Gotta call it out. Too many people tell you to ignore it. Ignoring it. Yeah, so I'm like saying the same things that you're saying without me even reading it. Kind of creeped out in a good way. I was literally discussing this in a different perspective in another stream, I assume. So as a woman, I know all too well people looking the other way and telling me to look the other way, blah, blah. Exactly. And there's like, I know that there's been a pendulum swing in order to like balance things out, but in some degrees, like wanting things to be equal doesn't mean pushing it all the way to this extreme because it was this extreme before. In my perspective, that's not the right way, because you're going to end up getting a clash or like kickback from that too. So it has to like balance out. If you can see the balance middle and you can see both perspectives and the reasons why it was bad one way and males and patriarchy and whatever the fuck that was back then, and what it is now, where there's all this like hate towards like straight white males and whatever the narrative is, we have to kind of come to the middle. But without going too far into it, what I want to say is just basically a community that reinforces positive, and they call out and they call people on this negative, just, I don't believe it. What I was doing recently is saying, well, who do you believe? If you don't trust Jay, if you think that Youthman or whatever is unbiased or biased because he's sponsored, or anybody else is a shill because they sell or market or plug or they talk about things or they're selling stuff that doesn't work, then my response is to ask them, who do you trust and why? Because it turns the conversation from, I don't want to hear what you're saying, to, I want to understand why you're saying it. So I don't mean to push these people out of the community. I don't want to ostracize them or alienate them because their comments were negative. I want to reinforce the idea that we can come to a better conclusion by asking the right questions in return. So instead of being on the defense and say, hey, I know what I'm talking about because I went to school, I have this degree, I've been here, I have 20 years of history, it's like push, right? There's an art like in Aikido and Judo where you're taught to use like a circular sort of balancing motion to take your opponent's energy and use it in a certain way so that you end up at a neutral result, and you're able to accommodate and utilize that energy in the right way. Some people verbally would call it diplomacy. You use diplomacy and tact in verbal conversation in order to guide a conversation to a mutual conclusion, not a fight, not defensiveness, not picking and scrapping You know what I mean? Like playing this game of words can get really, really nowhere, and it's not helping anybody. I said earlier, maybe these people need therapy because sometimes a perspective comes from these kinds of things. Social media will just draw us into this text only, really, really awkward communication already. I had a conversation with somebody earlier who let out something that was negative. Turns out that they admitted that it was an ADHD response to online media, and they just spit it out. But we ended up having a conversation in the comments that were positive. So it's possible if we treat each other with a little bit of fairness and understanding that, okay, they don't believe it. Let me ask why. Instead of reading the words, you're like reading the reasoning behind what they're saying. A perspective of like, well, I don't trust them because they could have been sold out. I don't believe it because there's this. I don't, you know what I mean? And maybe there's one more line, two more lines, you can get somewhere with the conversation. Just by drawing out what that other side is. I believe that there's a value in that for people in the community, for creators to like do their thing and get to the kind of content that can be trusted and believed, what kinds of things that we can do so that people understand what I'm saying is true, believable, more valuable. Like if there's no value in a subjective experience, then why are we doing it? If people don't believe anybody that do reviews, why is anybody doing a review? Why would you read it in a magazine? Why would you read it anywhere else? Why would you turn to social media for a review? So I don't know. We have to change some of those things there. Vel says I was discussing in my stories. Oh, okay. Verbal processor. Yes, I know. We both talk a lot. Can talk a lot. Let me rephrase. There's a point where you need to stop the pendulum from going too far. Yes, of course, because it goes from like abuse to abuse, and because there was some here, it's like some here. It's like, okay, it was bad here. We came to a better point because of the fight, but it's like, what is it like? Oh, it's my turn. That's tit for tat. That's an eye for an eye, and that leaves everybody blind. So yeah, it's immature. Vel says adults look at each other the other way at bullying all the time. They often are the bullies, teachers, young students. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we need to be able to deal with it correctly. It's based on certain mechanisms, right? Like we're all just human beings as a result of coping mechanisms, PTSD, certain actions and behaviors. This is the root of the argument, or the root of the discussion I had in my previous video called influences versus influencer. And the people who are influencing, like I was talking about the next speaker, I came from somewhere. I have a background in something. So that video, which was 13 days ago now, I looked at the date today, called Influences versus Influencer. I talk a lot about the reasons why we become the way we are and how it's important in audio because everybody is relying on influences right now. So you guys are writing a lot of different comments here. I just want to make sure that I'm reading it off to be fair. Just like children, people need to know their boundaries and the boundaries of those around them, society. Yeah, it's called maturity. People just need to be mature. I'm summarizing what you guys saying just to kind of move through it faster. Social media shifted, damn near erased socially accepted boundaries for the past year. Yes, because there's no accountability with social media. You're behind a screen. A lot of people are getting away with it because they have no consequences. Mike Tyson's famous quote is, yeah, everybody's a tough guy till you get punched in the mouth. Right? It's real consequences that really change people. Real adversity changes you as a person. If you've never been through anything tough, you only sound tough. That's a fact. Vel's like, can I just be cuddled? Yeah, well, it's getting cold enough that like we could do we could have something like that. But my version of cuddling is just listening to music. It's cuddling my brain with stuff that I want to listen to. God, I hope this video doesn't get demonetized. We've been on for about an hour and 4 minutes. That's amazing. Mirage Bryston has something to say. Thank you for adding to the conversation. Without people like yourself and Jay and so on talking about various speakers, amps, and whatnot, I learn more about brands I never heard from. Example, the next speaker, I did not know about it. So, okay, so there you go. Like, it's people like you, I'm going to turn this back and say it's people like you who understand the purpose of sharing. Maybe you knew, maybe you understand a little bit about it, and you don't need to say, oh, I knew about this, I've been in it for 30 years. Like, it's just people that want to feel valuable. It's a factor of narcissism for people to speak up and like put themselves on display. Like, look at me, look at all the stuff that I know. I've got speakers that are open baffle and I know what I'm doing in my room. Who are you to tell me that whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's just like this rather male dominated hobby because of things, and male humans are interested in things. That's a fact of psychology. Our nature to appreciate things combined with the idea of like ego, tribalism, subjectivity, and then passionate hobby, it makes people be like narrow, and you can see it. But it's people like you, Mirage Bryson, who just said, so like complimenting and saying, if it wasn't for like people like you and Jay to bring something new to the table, then these closed minds would not really see it. Think of us like curators, right? Like a museum has a curator. The curator's job is to find interesting pieces of art and paintings and bring them together in a collection to show the public. You go to a grocery store instead of to the farm, because grocers and those distributors bring everything to the grocery store for you to pick them up all at one time, and you go home and you have your food. Well, influencers and channel creators and hobbyists of all types of 100 different channels are basically just curators of experiences. I don't understand how anybody can't see that fact. If my regulars, my friends, you guys feel some of the irritation, some of the kinds of process, because maybe you don't have a channel, maybe you don't create videos, maybe you don't have the same friends that I do, and you don't hear about how absolutely fucking irritating it is to read trolls and absolute mind-numbing bullshit in comments on stuff that you spend days trying to do or years trying to learn, and they're just like, oh, you're just a shill, you're just trying to sell shit, you just talking bullshit, they paid you to do this, you're getting all this free stuff so you're nice. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, we work really hard, we spend our time. I've been doing this for an hour now. What is an hour's worth? You know, like, it's a passionate thing. The last thing that anybody needs to hear in the hobby after putting in the work, after learning what they learn, is someone saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's the worst. I wonder if he said that when he punched his girl, Tyson can punch himself in the mouth. Oh, okay, I get it. That's a reflection of the person that Mike Tyson was at some point. He's obviously changed now and he's done some things, sure. I'm sure we've all done some things. It's like throwing stones in a glass house. Yeah, I get it, but that's long and over with. Winter's coming, that means cuddle time. For the record, I don't cuddle. You keep your freaking hands to yourself. I'm not on that list. No one to cuddle, just a blanket. Yeah, and to be honest, I would never cry about that. I'm happy about that. I don't want anybody close to me. Certainly not that close. And I do a pretty good job at keeping people away from me. It's almost on purpose. I have my reasons. That's all I'm going to say. True Voice of Reason says, and would those trolls be able to talk to a camera for over an hour and keep people watching? Doubt it. No, exactly. They're like Vel said earlier, they don't make their own videos. They don't actually do anything of any value. However, there are some that do. Some, in the vast majority of them, although them being a minority, like, it's amazing how many people actually watch and how few of these good people say anything. Why is it that it's always the vocal minority that has nothing but bullshit to say gets the most airtime? Explain that to me. Explain to me why the most decent people have the least to share. Why are we letting these asshats talk the most? Why are there negative, trolling, prejudice, judgmental, nonsensical comments all over the place, and all of the good people don't say anything? I don't get it. And if we really want to throw Tyson under the bus, Epstein and Diddy's the same fucking situation. Both of those people ran beside a lot of people who never said anything for fucking decades. Why? It's the same thing here about comments. Why do the negative, bullshit, empty head, narcissistic comments just happen and happen and happen, and all the decent people that are around and look at it go, not my problem, I don't want to deal with it, let's just whatever. And then, like 20 years later, something comes out and goes, oh shit, I knew about that and I never did anything. Well, fucking stop it. Push back. Vel's obvious, yeah, he feels the same way I do about it. But hey, this is, it's a live stream on YouTube. I'm not getting into it here. It's the most pointless place to get into it. Nothing is being solved in this conversation, so I just choose to just leave it out. I'm not going against my words just there, because it's not like, talking is one thing. Talking is pretty cheap. Actions are very, very important. Now, while I'm creating a video and I'm talking, and talking is an action, I get that part of it, but I'm pretty sure we're all on the same boat here, and it emphasizes the point. You have to really call it out, and you have to do and say something about it, like, hey, encourage people to, like, make it stop, make it harder to do. Like, don't cover up their secrets. Call out their name. You know what I mean? Like, don't let these people get away with it. Also, and the flip side of this thing is too, because audio and music and all that stuff is like a business, the music business, record labels, the fact that Spotify makes so much money off of albums and music that the artists never see, like, is that right? Are we doing anything about it? Like, do we unsubscribe from Spotify? I mean, I'm still using it, but I signed up for Qobuz and I buy CDs all the time. Oh, I just moved my light. No, the lights. Like, I still buy CDs all the time. So I still support my favorite artists. I am a really big component of buying CDs, to actually having the albums on hand to listen to, because they can't take the CD away from you. And this money definitely goes back to the artists. Like, so this is what I'm saying, like, making people aware of what's going on is one thing, but we need good and decent people to reinforce what's going on in the community so the community can grow and get better. Let me read these last few comments and then we're going to get out of here. I know it was a touchy subject and I don't mean to get these feelings going, but it's out there, so at least we can Let me see. True Voice of Reason says, like all these comments are like after I've said stuff. So the video is already like 30 seconds delayed, and then the comments come, and then it's hard. This isn't like a really good way to have deep conversations. We all know that. So when I'm reading all of these comments, it's a lot, and then the time keeps slipping. So just think about right place, right time. That's all. Because I appreciate the conversation, but you know what I mean. Not making their own videos. Talking about you. I was talking about my own tears. Okay, yes, that's true. Epstein and all those people on those lists, both those lists, all those people can just rot. They don't deserve the secrecy. They all need to get called out. Same thing with anybody doing anything disrespectful or shady, even in the audio business. Like, if you're surviving and thriving based on somebody holding your secret, if the only reason why you have success is because people won't call your ass out, that's a pretty sad state of affairs. You didn't earn your place. You're surviving on borrowed time. That's pretty low. I don't know how I would sleep at night with that going on. True Voice of Reason says, well, you're all out of luck with me. I'm a hugger. I've converted many to self-professed loners. Slightly different country. Okay, yeah. You're not getting close to me. I'm way too far away. Similar threads and forums about physical media versus streaming style. Yeah, exactly. I still have records, but I don't have a record player. I have CDs. I bought a CD player for that reason. I really like the fact that all my favorite music is on CD. That way I can play it anytime that I want. I don't need internet. I just need a player of some kind, and then I can do that. Some portable CD players run on batteries. They used to anyways. That was the best. You could bring those to the cottage. You could bring them anywhere you wanted. It was portable music, like Bluetooth speakers and your phone. But you need streaming on your phone to play with a Bluetooth speaker. You can't Bluetooth broadcast CD audio, or at least I don't know if you can. Be pretty cool if you can. Anyhow, based on reputation, it's not real, but it's propped up as more important than truth. Yes, and that's something I'm fighting against. I know that my channel is small. I know that not a lot of people know me, and I understand that there's this thing that companies and brands fight against, which is public opinion. Now, I just finished talking about how trolls and bullshit artists and the very, very small vocal minority make a lot of noise out there, and brands respond to that because that's what they see. That's a big reason why I need all the decent people to be more vocal. Stop letting these asshats get away with it. You need to be more vocal in chat, and you need to be able to put them down to where they deserve to be with proper dialogue. Public manipulation, yeah, of course, and they're only getting away with it because the decent people are quiet. And that's exactly the reason why a lot of this other stuff happened in the first place. They got away with it because people enabled them. There's another psychological term. Enabling people to do worse is a terrible state of being. So please take away from this conversation this influence of both gear and behavior, because it's both of these things that make our community. Sharing the love of music is why we're here. But in order to save that fact, we need to act in its best interests. And that's not staying quiet. That's not like, oh, it's not my problem. It's not a fight. I don't have energy to deal with this. Not my business. Fuck that. It is your business. If you like music, you like gear, you appreciate these brands need to sell it and be successful, create the right products. They need the truth. They don't need this noisy rabble of bullshit artists. They need your real voices in order to do very good business. Otherwise, they're being manipulated by trolls. Nobody wants that. Anyways, to my friends, we're about 1 hour and 20. I gotta get out of here. Again, I hope this video doesn't get demonetized. I need at least one good one. It's getting late as well. There's a couple things that I got to do. To Vel, to Mirage Bryson, to True Voice of Reason, to all my friends that joined today, thank you for being here in the comments. You guys have kept this conversation going, and I appreciate your input. It's a little tough to follow up sometimes, but I think we're doing okay. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for being supportive, regular, loyal in a way, to a degree, and I appreciate that. Whatever form of hugs or cuddles or whatever the 3 of you or 4 of you want to do, that's fine. I'll be over here with my music. Don't touch me. I don't want none of it. You guys can just send me an email or something. I don't know that it's about the saying something that I would, Vel saying, oh, you didn't say anything, you got demonetized, I think. It's not really, well, I mean, I said a couple of names that are in the news right now, so something like that could get picked up, but from my end, it's more about the music in the background. The music gets me demonetized or blocked almost all the time. If any one of the songs or whatever it is that happens to be in the background, or this list might be copyright free as it's labeled, but one of the songs gets picked up in the background and everything gets squashed. It's the music. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the future. Take care of yourselves. It's a 3-day weekend here in Canada, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but maybe I'll do another live. Maybe I'll sit at the computer and do a showcase of some kind. I've got some other stuff that I can talk about. Some things that I'm looking forward to at Toronto Audiofest yet again. We'll see how that goes. Some of them are going to be rolling into the hotel Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to go in Thursday night, so please stay tuned. Friday, Saturday night, I'm staying at the hotel. Sunday, I come home. Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited, but I have one hell of a week to get through. So, see how it goes. Anyways, I'll see you in the future. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye.